Let me show you how I can throw almost anything in just 3 pulls. Learning this technique really elevated my throwing skills and it taught me how to move clay efficiently. Once you've opened your clay and you've compressed to the bottom, it'll be time for us to start our foundation pull. You're not so much pulling a wall as much as you are just evening out the clay. You are doing this by pinching the clay between your fingers. See how my hands are locked together? This makes it much easier for me to get consistent pulls because my hands are working as one unit. The interior fingers are sitting above the exterior fingers, and that's going to compress and push the clay in an S shape up through your fingers, making that wall. Also take note that all of my fingers are touching the clay. This is really going to help guide the clay in the direction you want it to go in. Keep in mind that the slower you go, the better. Nothing is sped up, so watch how slow my movements are. Also, be sure you don't hop off the clay. See how it's created like a bump? You want to gently lift off of the clay. Now it's time for our second pull. This pull is going to move the majority of our clay. You're going to take your outside hand and you're going to push in at the base of the clay. And using your inside hand, when you feel that bulge of clay, you push down on it and then you pull back up, and then that's when you start pulling your wall. You can see how aggressive that pull is, how much clay I'm moving. This is what it looks like as a cross section. You're going to take all of that clay on the outside and push it in. And when you feel that clay on the inside, you're going to push down on it, swoop through, and then pull back up. And with all that clay gathered, that's when you pull your wall. Here's a cross section of what it looks like mid-pull. You can see once again my hands are locked together, making them one unit. And that S shape is very exaggerated because I'm pinching in and I'm pulling up a lot. Notice again how slow I'm going. This is in real time. But the reason this works so well is because when you push in and then smooth with your interior hand and then pull up, you're compressing that clay at the bottom and you're giving your form stability at the base, which means you don't have to leave as much clay at the base. Our last pull is really just a finishing pull. I'm not really pulling the wall as much as I am smoothing everything out and making sure that I can feel that that wall is nice and even. Now, having said all of that, the one true tip I can give you for throwing better is to sit down and throw. We all want to be good at something immediately, but clay is not going to be that for anyone. I could explain this all day, but you have to feel it. And the only way to truly know what the clay wants you to do is to fuck up a million times. And you learn what to do by getting really good at learning what not to do. Now let's cut this open and see what my walls look like. Those look pretty even to me. And I got all of that uniformity in just 3 pulls. Now go sit down at your wheel with a bunch of 1-pound balls of clay and practice, practice, practice. Cut every one of them open and see what you can learn.